Welcome, Universians. This is your host, Dot. You're now listening to Hotbox the Podcast. This is episode 28. As usual, hope all is well in your world. Peace and love and all that great stuff. Hope you're a step closer to your dreams. We're doing something a little different today. What I call a profile interview, my first one. So try to get my journalism shit on. We have a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Boscoe.
Bosco just threw his phone on the floor and shit like, fuck this phone.
So man, it's not charging.
And today we're going to take a look into Bosco's life. I don't want to do too much foreshadowing because it's not my story. So we're just going to jump into it. You good with that, B?
I'm good, man. Just let me know what you want to know.
All right, cool. All right, starting off, Bosco, where were you born and raised, man?
I was born and raised in Simi Valley, out there in Ventura County.
And growing up out there, what was that like for you?
It was cool. It was normal. It's a nice little suburb city. Mom and dad, into sports. Everyday life, it was normal.
Okay. So like we talked about previously, you had gotten into some criminal activities, right?
Yeah.
What were those? When you first started getting into that, what were they and why?
Oh man, my first ones was like juvenile hall, stealing shit, gangbanging, kicking with the homies, stealing cars. Went to juvenile hall, straight out of juvenile hall, went to county, turned 18 in the county, did a county year, got out for 2 months, did 7 years. So, it was a bad life, dumb decisions, but worth it with the homies.
Right. So when you went to, you said county was the first, like when you first went to county, you were 18.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was cool. It was a little different. You're just with a bunch of guys in there just fighting cases, getting ready to do time, go upstate. You get put to the test a lot, being a youngster. Everyone trying to tell you what to do. But, it's cool. Keep your head up, do your thing.
Right. And when you are in the county at 18, what are some of the things, like, as a youngster you have to do that they're like the guys are asking you to do?
A lot of things. It's, little things they don't want to do. Little messes you got to clean up. Say they want someone to get beat up, you got to go handle it. If, something needs to be done, you got to handle it. My first time in there, I had to fight some dude that I did 2 years with, fighting a case. He was a black dude over a newspaper. I had access to him, so that was my first mission, was to run in there 6 o'clock in the morning when the doors racked and handle it till the cops got us broken up.
So when you handle it, like, do you get more time put on you for stuff like that?
Yeah, you get more time. They add it on, but, you're already there fighting cases, so it ain't a time to worry about if you get more or not, because at this point, you're just surviving.
Right.
Because if you don't do what they tell you, then you're pretty much, marked as a piece of shit. You get handled.
Okay. And so we're at this point, you're 18, you're in county, and then you get out, right?
Yeah.
And then what did you do to get hit with the 7-year stint?
Well, I get out, and, I'm kicking it. I try to do good, but, I'm on probation, so it's hard. Cops coming. We're walking down an alley. We're tagging up, robbing shit. We seen some Paisa dude. He used to be slang. He was a local the coke dealer. We went over there, robbed him.
Okay.
Got 7 years. I had just got out for a year for assault with deadly weapon, so I got my second strike, so everything was doubled. So I ended up getting 7. And, it was funny because the cops told him, if you press charges or you point him out in the lineup, we'll tell him that he took your passport.
Oh,
so he wasn't even illegal.
Did you take his passport?
Nope, we took coke.
So you stole from so if you steal from a drug dealer, you can still go to jail?
Yeah, apparently I did.
That's fucked up. That doesn't even make sense. So what happened to the drug dealer?
I guess he stayed. He went to court and testified.
That doesn't that doesn't make sense to me. Like, in the game, I'm assuming if you're drug dealing, like I never like. So you guys robbed him, and he called the cops.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
The description was two bald-headed Mexicans. So they next thing you know, they're at our door doing a lineup out front.
And so I just find this. So he tells the cops, "Hey, this guy took my coat."
I say we took his cigarettes and his wallet.
Oh, okay. But so how did the cops know there was coke that was taken?
There wasn't.
Oh, so you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
They never made it to the.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on.
No, what they said I took was his cigarettes and his passport.
Right. Okay. So you do this. The judge hits you with 7 years. As soon as you hear 7 years, what's going through your mind?
It was actually a deal because I was looking at 32.
Oh, fuck.
So I signed for 7 with my second strike. And, by the time I was 19, I was going up to do my 7-year bid.
And this was at 19?
Yeah.
And you did all 7 years?
Yeah, I did 6 in about 7 months, 8 months.
All right. And so this isn't at the county anymore. So when you're going to 7, where are you going?
The first prison I hit went to Boscoe. It's a reception yard. Then after that, you hit main line. My first main line was Pleasant Valley in Kalinga.
And what's main line? What does that mean?
That's when you've already been sentenced and you've already hit your yard that you're going to be at.
Okay. So then when you ultimately end up where?
My first one I was in Pleasant Valley. Where I ended up paroling from was Old Folsom.
Okay. How long were you in Pleasant Valley for?
I went to Pleasant Valley like 2002, got out 2004, or went to a different yard in 2004.
Okay. So as soon as you get to Pleasant Valley, what's your first day like?
Well, I mean, when we were at Wasco, we were going on site with the Bulldogs. They're a Fresno group of Hispanics. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much on site. On site, like, if we're going at it, if you see that person or that group or that race, it's on site. Like, you got to handle it. You're fighting. So I got there to Pleasant Valley. We got up. There were some Bulldogs there programming on the yard in day room. They accidentally cracked our door, so automatically we had to run out of our door down to the day room and get them up. So me and my Sally took on about like 4 or 5 of them. That was our first day.
And this was Pleasant Valley?
This is Pleasant Valley, yeah.
So is this something like so you're there 2 years. Every time you see them, you have to like?
Yeah, if we're going at it, yeah.
Damn.
Or whatever race we're going at it with that day.
So is there ever a time in Pleasant Valley where there's like peace? Nobody's fucking with anybody, and
oh yeah, there's a lot of peace. I mean, it's good times. I mean, you make the best of it because you're there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you get somebody that's drunk, or it's just hot as fuck. People are irritated. Right. You just get wild hair up someone's ass.
People get bored and shit.
That's pretty much what it is.
So you do your 2 years at Pleasant Valley, and then you go to Folsom.
Yeah.
And you do the rest of your 4 years.
Yeah.
So how was it at Folsom?
Folsom was cool. I mean, that shit was crazy. That place, man, it's off the hook. People running wild. Like, it's a good time.
So for a person that hasn't been, let's say, incarcerated, if they hit that bid like that, what are they to expect? Like, you go, how do you survive in that situation?
Man, you go towards your race. That's it, automatic. You go in there. If you're black, they ask you, are you a Crip, you a Blood, or are you from the Bay Area? And then you pick one, and that's who you roll with. For the Mexicans, you're a northern Hispanic, you're a southern Hispanic, or you're a Mexican national, which is paisas. And then for whites, you're white.
Just white nationalist, KKK shit.
Yep. So, like, even if you're a regular and you're just like a construction worker out here, as soon as you go in that prison, you're white.
Got you.
Even though if you're just like a normal, you play basketball all day, you're just, a normal brother out there. You go in there, you're gangster automatic.
Right. So say, like you just said, I go up in there, right? And I tell whatever gangs, look, I'm just trying to do my time. I'm not trying to do any of that extracurricular shit y'all got going. What happens then?
I mean, sometimes, like, people want to go in there, like, you guys, like, being your, like, the blacks, like, that's, you can go in there, and that's how some of them want to roll like that. That's how you roll. You don't really have to get into the politics, but you're kind of on your own. You're not really, like, you don't really necessarily have to hang out and this and that, but if, like, there's a fight between us and, like, your race, then you better get up.
Regardless if I fuck with anybody.
Yeah, if you don't fuck with anybody.
Okay.
You don't have to hang out with them and, like, be with them every day, but if shit pops off, you're fucking, you
so
that
doesn't,
lays,
so they might let me slide on, like, not dealing with the politics, like you said, but as soon as a fight breaks out. Now, is this a fight, like, say, it's two black rival gangs, Crips and Bloods. I would not have to jump in it.
No.
So if it's only a different race, then I got to get up and swing on somebody.
Yeah. Like, if it was going out, if it was, like, us and you guys, or if it was you guys and the whites, like, then those two races, like, everybody would get up and just go at it.
So from your standpoint, because you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what, you can't go in there and say that. Like, you can't go say, hey, I'm just trying to do my time. They act differently, or? Yeah,
we got structure. We got discipline. We got a lot of rules. Mm-hmm. We're not allowed to fight with our own race. We don't share with other races. It's, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of the prisons in Southern California are ran by Hispanics. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of structure. It's mandatory yard, mandatory, one up, one down. Like, if we're in a cell, only one of us can sleep at a time. Sometimes there's no sleeping. Oh, everyone's got to work out. Everyone's got to be on the yard in case shit pops off. Everyone's got to be in shape. Like, if they tell you, if one of your homies rolls up and he's in the hole, and they're like, hey, man, we need some shit to go to the back, then you got to go take off on somebody and go take your ass back to the hole. Like, it's mandatory. If you don't do it, you don't do it. You don't survive in there.
So, so you say if you went in there on some, I'm not fucking with anybody shit, they would just come for you.
Yeah, they wouldn't back you up. You wouldn't have they wouldn't have your back. And, you'd just be someone that got fucked with.
Is there anybody who came in there like that you can remember that got fucked with?
Oh, yeah, a lot of people. That place either make you or break you.
Right.
There's no in between.
Is there people you come in, like, can you tell when you look at a person like, oh, they're not going to make it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And how can you tell that?
A lot of times, you just tell because they won't really be too scared, but they'll be more eager. They'll be more eager to fit in. Mm-hmm. They'll try to, make themselves look like a badass. They'll try to volunteer to do missions. You can tell when someone comes in, like, and, you're trying to show people what you are, then you're really not.
Right. So the best way you're saying, if it's, God forbid this, happens to any of you out there, but if it does, you're saying go in there, kind of chill out, but be ready for shit to pop off.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go in there doing too much.
Yeah, don't go in. Yeah, you go in there flaunting like you're a soldier or a rider. You're going to get a mission, and you don't do it, then you're a piece of shit.
Because movies suggest that, like, every time I see a movie about prison, if the guy goes in there and fucks up the baddest guy, like, he's the guy. Does that work like that?
Nah, because you get jumped before you even touch him.
So you don't even get to the baddest guy. You going through soldiers and shit first.
Yeah, because you go through soldiers. Because you got shot callers on the yard. And those are the dudes that run the yards. And underneath each shot caller, like, there'll be a shot caller for everybody. Then underneath him, he'll have a representative from each area that he'll deal with.
I see what you're saying. Can you go into detail about what hood you were from and what your structure is?
I'm from Simi Valley, Barrio Simi Valley. We're a neighborhood in the 805 area. So, like, when I get to prison, like, I'm a Southerner, I'm a homie. Mm-hmm. You'll have different cars. You'll have, like, the IE car. You'll have the Rivers. You'll have, like, Bakersfield car. You'll have Ventura County car. You have the LA car. It's different areas have different cars that you kick it with.
So, okay. And do you guys you don't have beef with other Hispanics?
No, once you hit county prison, then all that shit's dropped. We're not even allowed to fight each other unless we're, like, cleaning house.
So then, you say Simi Valley. What are the other Hispanic groups?
Oh, they're all over. Anywhere in California, pretty much.
So I guess what I'm asking is how do they? So if you were from, let's say, not Simi Valley, Los Angeles, then you would still be in one Hispanic group.
Yeah, we'll all be Southerners.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all of us, like, anyone from a Southern California gang is the 13.
Okay.
So once you go in there, like, for us Hispanics, like, it doesn't matter if you're from a gang in San Diego and a gang from Fresno.
Because you're 13.
You're 13, yeah. Because there's neighborhoods that are all the way up north.
Now, you were telling me a story about, this is what I find fascinating, is the race thing, that no matter what, if like say we were in